T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine ignition, liftoff.
Stage propulsion is nominal.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from pad 40 and throttled down to prepare for max Q, which is coming up at T plus 1 minute.
Power and telemetry nominal.
1 minute and about 12 seconds. Max Q is the highest amount of aerodynamic pressures. That's the largest structural load that the vehicle will see on ascent. We throttle down those engines just to pass through max Q, and then we'll throttle them back up once we pass through that period.
Falcon 9 is supersonic. Maximum dynamic pressure.
And great news, we have passed through max Q. You're getting some excellent views there on your screen. Next up, we have a few events happening back to back. That will be MECO, stage separation, and SES-1. MECO is main engine cutoff, and that's where we'll shut down all 9 of the M1D engines to slow the vehicle down in preparation for its next event, which is
MVAC chill has started.
Stage separation. And that's where the first stage separates from the second stage. Right after stage separation, the first stage will begin its journey back to Earth for landing on our drone ship, a short fall of gravitas. And during that time, stage 2 will continue on its journey with that third event, SES-1, or second stage engine start 1. And that is where the single Merlin vacuum engine will light up and propel the second stage along with ESA's EUCLID spacecraft to orbit.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC ignition.
Some really cool views of MECO stage separation, and on your right-hand screen, you can see that the MVAC engine there you can see on your right-hand screen that the fairing halves have deployed. On your left-hand screen, the grid fins on the first stage are deploying, and in about 15 seconds or so, we should have fairing separation. And a very cool view from the ground. And there you can see the engines have reignited on the first stage on your left-hand screen. This is the entry burn with 3 of 9 M1D engines reignited. And you can see that those engines have shut down. That concludes the entry burn for the first stage. Now we do have one more burn for the first stage vehicle as it attempts to land on our drone ship, and that is the landing burn. It will just be a single engine, the center E9 engine reigniting, and that is enough thrust to help slow down the vehicle to enable it to touch down on our drone ship. Now that is coming up here in just a few seconds, followed by the landing burn about 20 seconds after that. There you can see that the MVAC engine has shut down and the landing burn has begun on the first stage vehicle.
Expected loss of signal, Kate. Nominal orbit insertion.
What an incredible clear view of Falcon 9 touching down on a short fall of gravitas. This landing marks the second successful landing for this particular booster and marks our 204th overall successful recovery of an orbital class rocket, including both Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy first stages. We also heard the call out for SECO 1 and confirmation of good orbit. So with confirmation of a successful second engine cutoff and first stage landing, we are going to be in a coast phase until just before the second relight of our MVAC engine on the second stage, which will be followed by payload deploy. So sit tight and we'll see you back here.
MVAC ignition.
There we heard that call out, and you can see on your screen that the MVAC has reignited. Again, this burn will last about 90 seconds, and it will be the last burn of stage 2 before we deploy the payload. As a reminder, the Euclid payload is still attached to the second stage at this point and will be heading to a Sun-Earth Lagrange point to transfer orbit. And that is about 1 million miles beyond Earth's orbit. Now we should have SECO 2 coming up here in a few seconds. That is second stage engine cutoff. We've just had SECO 2.
Nominal orbit insertion.
There's that call out. We just had SECO 2 and confirmation of good orbit. So with successful second engine start and cutoff, we'll join you live to cover payload deployment in about 20 minutes. So we'll see you in a few.
Euclid spacecraft separation confirmed.
And there you can see the Euclid payload drifting away from Falcon 9's second stage. With that confirmation, we'll bring today's webcast to a close. Today's mission marked SpaceX's 243rd overall mission to date and 44th mission of this year. We want to thank the European Space Agency for entrusting us with today's mission and all of you for joining us. If you're interested in following the Euclid mission further, tune into youtube.com/ESA for more. And be on the lookout for the first images from the Euclid telescope later this fall. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.